I was in the program, like, a shelter, and he told me, "Hey, Carlos, can you come enjoy street soccer?" So I'm gonna say, "Hey, what is the street soccer?" It's you know, we play soccer in the church, and sometimes we play outside. And then I told him, "Okay, I go." And then after that day, I start enjoying this program. I like street soccer.
There's a friend of mine. We actually played in the tournament in Sacramento last October. So when I was staying at Roots, I was trying to figure a way to get work authorization and all that stuff. Because I'm an immigrant, and so it's kind of hard to get that stuff. And I was trying to figure all that out. And while I was doing that, a friend of mine called Axel, like I was saying, he told me about this street soccer stuff, and we go to play a lot of soccer. And I was like, nah, I've got a lot going on, I've got to work on my life, trying to figure out the job situation and all of that. But I came one day, we checked it out, and I thought, it's a good distraction. I can come here quite often, every now and then, and try to, get the stress out.
So I went to University of Washington, and my freshman year I was a little overwhelmed with like so many people at UW coming from a smaller town, and so I was just looking at ways to get involved in something just to like make that community a little smaller. And they had a club that had kind of started about Street Soccer Seattle, and so I was like, oh sweet, maybe I'm like playing with a bunch of college guys like randomly on some streets, like little pickup here and there, which was really exciting. And then I like saw their mission and how they were empowering and like using it to build community with the homeless and like using soccer as a cool tool. And I was like, this is legit. So like I called the dude and I was just like, when can I get there? And then I've been there ever since, basically. We use soccer to teach life skills, right? And so being able to teach those life skills has really had me thinking about a lot of them too at the same time. I mean, I was essentially still growing up as I like started doing street soccer. So I've learned a lot about communication, making sure that, I think the biggest thing that we try to teach communication based off of what I've learned is communication is a two-way street. So it doesn't matter how well I'm communicating it, if you're not receiving and understanding that same communication that I'm trying to give, then I've still failed, right? Regardless of what you did. So communication, talking to people that have like a lot of different perspectives than mine, and like a lot of these guys and girls have like shouldn't be able to do what they're doing, I think, based off of stereotypes from society, basically because they're living on the streets or because they've had all these experiences. So I think I have a much easier habit of not seeing them like that and being able to see the full potential in a lot of people.
For one thing, I've been playing soccer for a long, long time. Ever since I was a kid, I've been playing soccer. Football. We call it football where I come from. So it's always around. So you're always juggling and trying to dribble past your friends and something. I used to play with my siblings, and I'm the oldest, so I would try to play 1 against 3. I have 3 siblings, so that's how I learned how to dribble, because they crowd all over you, and you've got to figure a way how to dribble past them. That's how I learned to play soccer. So I keep coming back because it's something that I've been doing forever. It feels like a hobby to me. I've been going through a rough patch for the past 2 years, and it keeps me, distracted.
When I come to street soccer, I met a lot of people, and these guys tell me or help me to get a job, to do something better, and even going to school. They told me, hey, if you're going to school, you improve your English, you start learning English, because at the time I don't speak English at all, and then now step by step I start improve my English, around like that kind of people. I don't into this year I start English at the school, and then yeah, I mean for me it was a big help, a big hand take me out of the kind of stuff. Cause I got my goals. I got my goals in life. So I don't want to be a part of the homeless. That's why.
There's this common misconception that a lot of people here are in this situation because of drugs or alcohol or some sort of substance abuse problem or something of their own doing, right? And a lot of the times people are getting into these situations just because they have hard circumstances in their life and they'll get set back, and you miss one rung and all of a sudden you're falling off the ladder, and there's not a lot of safety nets in our society to catch these people, but it could happen to anybody.
It's a lot of things, like so any kind of sport help you to out of the streets using drugs or bad stuff. So that's what I like. I keep coming and see new faces, see new guys here, and I saw when they smile, when they like to play soccer, and it's so beautiful because these guys are focused on this, playing soccer and not on the street, not using drugs, no fight or no stole any property, So that's why I'm like thinking these kind of programs are so good for this generation of people.
I'm in a good place. I'm kind of complaining, but right now I'm in a good place. Before, I would say last year, it was kind of hard because I didn't have, as much as I wanted to better myself, I didn't have the right documentation to help me get a job, because that's where it starts, right? If you have money, then you can provide for yourself, but if you don't have money, you gotta go work. But if you can't work at the same time, then it's a problem. So at that time was just the only way I would say, the only way I would keep going is just by seeking help from all these resources around and connecting with people who are going through the same things that you're going through, and they are a constant reminder that you're not the only one who's going through a rough time alone. So it gives you a sense of togetherness, and it also makes you more resilient. I like to say that.